Big news. After months of speculation and confusion about whether a federal $2,000 stimulus payment would return, there's finally a 2026 update, and a payment timeline is emerging. Millions of Americans are asking, will people actually get this check? Who qualifies? When will the payment hit bank accounts? In this video, we're breaking down exactly what we know, what's still uncertain, and how you can prepare, all in clear, easy-to-understand terms. What is this $2,000 stimulus check update? After earlier rounds of direct payments in 2020 and 2021, talk of a new $2,000 stimulus check for 2025 and 2026 resurfaced, especially after several lawmakers and public figures pushed for it. The latest updates suggest the payment is being framed as a type of rebate, stimulus or dividend, potentially funded from tariff revenues, budget surpluses, or newly authorized federal spending. But there's a big difference between talk and law. At this point, the payment remains a proposal, not an enacted automation. Bullet points: proposed federal payment of $2,000 per eligible person, billed as relief amid continuing inflation and economic strain. Often called a stimulus check or dividend payment. Still requires congressional approval before becoming law. Who is talking about it? Several high-profile politicians, public officials, and advocacy groups have publicly stated support for another round of stimulus payments. Some have specifically mentioned amounts like $1,200, $2,000, or even higher figures, but until there's an official bill passed by Congress and signed by the President, no payment is guaranteed. Bullet points: lawmakers have discussed stimulus ideas in committee forums. Some proposals specifically reference middle-class relief. Statements are public but not legally binding. No official implementation plan from IRS or Treasury yet. That finally revealed payment date. What's really going on? The payment date reveal you're hearing about comes from legislative discussions and statements from congressional leaders hinting that if a $2,000 payment is authorized, the rollout could begin in early to mid-2026. This isn't an official IRS payment schedule, but rather the earliest plausible timeline if a bill passes soon. The reason there's speculation about mid-2026 is that any approved law must first go through both chambers of Congress and be signed by the President, a process that could take several months. Bullet points: possible rollout window, early to mid-2026. Dependent on legislative approval. IRS typically needs weeks to months to set up distribution. Direct deposit would arrive first, mailed checks later. Eligibility: who could qualify? Although exact eligibility rules have not been written into law yet, discussions about the $2,000 payment generally assume that low and middle-income Americans would be prioritized. This may mean income thresholds, limits on adjusted gross income (AGI), and residence requirements. Historically, direct payments have been tied to recent tax filings and valid Social Security numbers. Bullet points: likely tied to recent tax filings, IRS records. Income eligibility thresholds expected. Could exclude high-income individuals. U.S. citizens and long-term residents most likely included. How payments would be delivered. If a $2,000 payment is approved, based on past stimulus methods, this is how it would likely be distributed. Beneficiaries with direct deposit information on file receive cash faster, while others receive mailed checks or preloaded debit cards. The IRS has used these channels before, including for past stimulus payments. Bullet points: direct deposit, fastest delivery. Paper checks, mailed later. Prepaid debit cards, potentially issued. IRS typically uses most recent tax bank data. Why there's confusion around this payment? One reason this topic has grown confusing is that while public figures frequently promote the idea of a $2,000 payment, official government agencies like the IRS, Treasury, and Feds have not issued a statement confirming that the payment is scheduled. Previous stimulus checks required specific laws to be enacted, and until that happens again, talk of the payment remains a proposal, not a guarantee. Bullet points: no official IRS announcement yet. Public statements not equal to confirmed policy. Requires legal authorization. Rumors often circulate before actual law. What could delay or block the payment? Even if the idea is popular, there are always hurdles in Congress. Budget negotiations, disagreements on funding sources, and competing priorities can delay or derail final passage of a law. That means the payment date reveal is best understood as a target, not a confirmed schedule. If lawmakers don't pass a funding bill soon, the payment timeline could push deeper into 2026 or beyond. Bullet points: political disagreements could slow progress. Funding sources must be identified. Budget negotiations may prioritize other programs. Implementation delays are common. What you can do to prepare. Even though the payment hasn't been finalized, there are steps you can take now so you're ready if it is approved. Updating your IRS direct deposit info and filing your tax return early, or keeping your contact info current, ensures you won't miss out if a payment is released. Bullet points: update bank direct deposit info with IRS. File or amend your tax return if needed. Verify your mailing address is current. Monitor official IRS and government announcements. Beware of scams, never pay to unlock your stimulus. How much you could expect if approved. The rumored $2,000 amount is exactly that, rumored. While several proposals reference $2,000 per qualifying person, the final amount could be different depending on how the law is written. Some proposals even talk about variable amounts based on income or household size. Until a bill is passed, the $2,000 number remains an estimate, not a confirmed figure. Bullet points: proposal widely discussed as $2,000 per person. Amount could be changed during legislative process. Potential household caps or phase-outs possible. Final number depends on final law language. So, the update is real in the sense that lawmakers are talking about a $2,000 payment and discussing a possible timeline in 2026 if legislation passes. But until Congress approves a bill and the President signs it, the payment remains an unconfirmed proposal. Stay informed by watching official government sites, verify your IRS information now, and prepare your finances assuming the payment is possible but not guaranteed. If this video helped clarify things for you, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.